Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Rust Reborn. My name's Seth and this is my dad.
I'm Jesse, and we're gonna start working on this 59 Ford truck. Okay, a little bit before we get started about the truck. We won it in a raffle a couple of years ago. It was a one-day rat rod build. It had a 231 Perkins in it, did it not?
Yes. It's a tractor engine.
And the reason we decided to change it, it was a pretty cool truck. It had a big smokestack and it sounded good, but going down the road, it would go 50, 55 and it would shake you.
The body mounts were blew out and
yeah, everything was rotted away. The truck was just really unsafe for the road, and we decided to do a little bit of changing around. So we traded the engines. We traded that engine and transmission, the diesel, and I had another diesel engine and transmission that we traded for a 2011 Crown Victoria. It was a wrecked car, so the body was no good. We just wanted the undercarriage and suspension. We figured we could do a Crown Vic swap, and so we did. That's why this frame is sitting under here. There's a lot of work to get it on here. The frame is really wide on a Crown Vic, and on these trucks it's very narrow. So we had to cut into the step sides here, and we got the cab set on here, and we made all our mounts. And that's about as far as we've gotten. We've been busy. We both work full-time jobs, as you can see. We both work for G&W. They're relentless. They never let us get a day off.
So most of the part we've taken out most of the rust, replaced a little bit of rust, sanded most of the front of the cab down. We
fabricated a lot of parts.
Yeah, the frame is nice on the Crown Vics. Thankfully it didn't get bent up.
And part of the fenders here, which you can't tell now, we cut out patches, welded them all in.
Our driver's side door, as you can tell, we replaced almost all the metal. It was rotted out completely, all the way around. We took some hand tools, some vice grips mainly, and bent the metal around the edges because we didn't have any tools to do that.
The complete piece of metal came off the roof of the 2011 Crown Vic, and it was very difficult to bend to the shape that we wanted. It's still not perfect, but it's 1,000 times better than what we had. It was all gone, just all rusted away. I really should have had a new door, but our price range, it was just out of our price range. We try to do things very cheap around here, and probably shouldn't do that all the time, but when you're a working man, you understand, you try to save money any way you can. So this is our start to it. We got to do the other door. We'll just lay this one back down.
This is our passenger side door. As you can tell, this is also going to need replaced all the way through. It's got a large dent right down the middle. It's bent, rotted out all through the bottom. We're probably going to have to replace most of the metal on this door. We're also going to use the rooftop of the Crown Vic on this and try to get as much metal as we can salvage out of that. And it's just rotted all the way through.
So what are we going to do for our bed?
Well, we're going to cut it straight down the middle and extend it on both sides 2 inches because the Crown Vic frame is too wide for the 59. And we're also going to have to come to the sides here and also extend it about 4 inches.
Yes.
Because it's too short for the frame as well.
Oh, yeah.
For our hood, we've already done most of the repairs, but it's still going to need a little bit of touching up.
It's just rough.
We did it in such less time that we had, and we've rushed a little bit of it, but it's pretty OEM as it looks.
This was all new metal.
Yeah, this was all rotted out all the way across, and took metal from the 2011 Crown Vic and threw it up there. And again, use our special vice grips and bent them around.
Well, we're going to have to make our fender wells, because this one here on this side was rusted out pretty bad. The radiator mounts and supports, we made all that. Wiring needs to be wired in. There's still a lot going on with this truck that we really need to get done. You can see there's some rust holes there at the bottom of the fenders.
Yeah, when we sanded that off, I had about 2 inches of body cement. This is the 2011 Crown Vic frame that we were talking about earlier. How we had to make that little step there. We're gonna have to do the same exact thing on this side. And
we're gonna redo all our floor pans. All right, we also made the cab mounts in the rear. They're under here. They're hard to see right this minute. We made everything by hand. We still have to change the springs on the rear end because, like we said before, it was in the accident, so everything was pushed over and bent. All these supports I took off and straightened out. All your 4-link suspension, they were bent. I beat them all back into shape, but we're still kind of high on one side, which I believe our spring is bent. So we are going to have to change a set of springs, and when after we actually widen the bed, we'll use what's left of our steps right here to cover our outside frame with a step so you can't see it. And when we're done, it'll all be covered up. You won't be able to tell the frame's about 12 inches wider than the other truck. And hopefully we'll have us a nice truck when we get done. All right, we're gonna get started cutting the panels off on this door. I went ahead and drilled a hole here and a hole here to the inside of where the inside frame of the door is, and we just pop that line with chalk line, and I'll make one over here just to show you how to do that. All right, now the trick is to pop this one. You got no one else to help you hold this thing.
I gotcha.
All right, that makes you a nice straight line we can follow. And over here, we're going to measure this one and pop this one. I think this one I'm just going to keep, 1 inch. Look at that work. Now, when you buy door skins, it's different than what we're doing, because you can buy the door skin and it's open. It's kind of got a crease all the way around, and you would actually cut this whole skin off of this door and replace it. But they don't sell these door skins. They don't sell any panels for this truck, hardly at all. Not even floor pans. In the early 70s or late 70s, a company bought out all the dies for this model truck from 57 to 60. They bought all the dies, and now nothing is available. So you can't just go on like Classic Trucks or something like that where you can get all your Ford parts. They just don't offer them anymore. So we have to make everything. So normally we would take off the whole door skin, but we're going to try and make the whole thing just like we did the other door. And we're just going to start here, welding it in here, and completely replace the whole bottom end of the door. All right, we're going to mark this one out. I can put this one on the thing there. Thought I had marked out my inch right there. Maybe I didn't. All right, there we go. All right, now the fun part.
As you can tell, we got the door panel cut off. You can see it's pretty rotted down the bottom of it. It's all rotted out. And we're gonna keep that piece we cut out because we can use it as a stencil. And as you can tell, we're gonna need a window.
Yeah, if there's any repairs that need to be done in here, now's the time to do it. But everything looks kind of solid up around the window. We just need to clean it up good. Yeah, so we just got to go down to our donor car here for a few minutes and rob some metal out of the roof, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
All right, we got to our car. We're just gonna cut the roof right out of it.
It's an old Grand Marquis that's been sitting quite a few years, and we're just going to use it for donor metal, so
This is the roof after we've done taking off. We bent one of the sides doing it.
we bent this side, but we'll straighten it out. But we got a lot of good usable metal, so I think we're going to be fine with this, and we'll give it a shot after a while.
All right, we got our metal, and we're back up here. In the next video, we're going to mark out our piece of metal that we need to cut it out, form it to the door.
We're also going to cut out the bottom piece, so we'll probably end up having to do the bottom first before we do this, but we can go ahead and cut out our metal for the next step. So until then,
thank you for watching.
Have a great one.